People that recognize you in sport in Israel would think of a soccer goalie, because that's your position, that's what you've been doing. What's the connection between you and American football?
Before 5 years, I met guys I visited in the US, and I met one guy. He told me that I have a good leg, and he saw a video of mine, and he told me I need to try it. So I came back to Israel after 3 years that he told me that, and try it, and it's very good.
You know, a lot of people, when they watch our league in Israel, they say, but there's no field goals, there's no field goal kickers. Now the national team has a field goal kicker. How good are you?
I'm good, but we are a team. Special team, it's team. We need everybody to be good.
If we have to kick a 30-yard field goal with the victory on the line, can you do it?
We're going to do it.
What about if it's a 40-yarder?
We're going to do it.
50-yarder?
50 yards, it's like 67 yards. It's world record.
All right, so you'll kick a 40-yarder for Israel.
Okay.
All right, good luck.
Thank you very much.
Let's go. Now, I think I can say honestly that you're one of the biggest Jews I've ever seen. But you're going to be going against non-Jews. Are you worried about the size of the other team?
I'm more concerned about the experience I have, compared to them. But size doesn't matter as long as you have the right technique. If you don't have the technique, then you can't push anyone, especially as an offensive lineman, which I have to push off the guy in front of me, which I think that between studying by myself and by using Coach Alan Hearn, the offensive line coach of the national team, I've gotten to a level of offensive line who's superior than most of the players, especially in Israel. But I do believe that I have become one of the top players in my position. I hope I'm better than most of the Spain's defensive linemen. Surely not going to let them go through me easily. I'll give them a good fight and I'll beat them.
How will it feel for you to put on that Israeli uniform and get out there representing the country?
So I just thought about it a week ago, about the huddle just before the game. All my body was goosebumps. I was so, adrenaline is pumping. I'm so excited representing my country, especially due to me being a sportai. It means athlete in the Army. I got recognition. And this is all I am. For the Army, I'm representing my country through football, American football. And I'm all out over there with my blue and white shirts and caps and just showing off the road that, Israel is in business, guys. Watch out.
All right. Thank you. Swiecka, come jump in. Alex Swiecka, last time you wore a football uniform, it was for Michigan in the U.S. This is quite a transition for you. Are you excited?
I'm extremely excited to be representing Israel in the first international game, and ready to see what we can do out here and shock the world.
How different do you think it's going to be to face guys like Spain as compared to U.S. colleges?
I think it's absolutely going to be different, but from the film that I've watched, football is football at the end of the day, and I'm excited to play.
And you're in Israel now you'll be here for a period of time representing the country also in flag football.
Yes. Yeah, I'm playing for the flag football team as well. We're traveling to Spain only 3 weeks later to compete in the European Championships. And I have a 1-year lease in Israel. I have a 1-year contract here. So I'm excited to make the most of my Israel football experience and help Israel win as many games as possible.
Awesome. Matt, you're a quarterback. What's the game plan going to be against Spain?
To execute and to win.
What kind of offense is Israel going to be running?
That's top secret. I can't really divulge information before the game.
For the Israeli public, we're not telling anybody in Spain.
When's it going to air?
This week.
This week? My lips are sealed.
All right. Let me ask you this. Do you feel as though the team has had enough time to get ready for this first international game? I mean, Spain has been playing for years. Israel's brand new at it. What do you think?
This group of guys have been together for, a year and a half now, and It's been a lot. It's been a long time, long road, a lot of practices. I feel confident with this group of guys to win the game. So, yeah, I think we're ready to go.
Now, where did you learn the game of football? Did you learn it in this country, or did you learn it back in the old country?
The old country, I guess you'd say. Back in the States, you know, growing up from a kid, ball was in my hand, from Florida. So, you know, in the backyard playing with the boys and all the way up to university, you know, so then came here.
Well, how will it be for you to put on that Israeli jersey and get out there and represent the country?
It's a dream come true, really, it is. It's, never thought it was possible, and all of a sudden, poof, here it is. Israel's on the map, and we're going to put a stamp on it, so it's going to be an exciting game. It's going to be exciting for football in Israel, so I'm very excited.
All right. This is the first time that Israel is putting a team together to play tackle football on an international level. You're heading off to Spain. What's your feeling heading out?
We put in a lot of work, and we look a hell of a lot better than we did 14 months ago. And I believe we have a big heart, and I think we have a really good chance of bringing back a nice big fat W.
We're very new at this game internationally. Spain has been playing for a lot longer than us. How have you been able to scout them? How do you know what they're going to do? How do you know how good they are or where the weaknesses are? How are you going to attack them?
So unfortunately, there wasn't a lot of film out there. We got a little bit of it like a couple months ago, and we just picked up a whole bunch of it about a couple days ago. So we're going to work out a couple things, and hopefully, like we said, we're coming in new. They have a lot more experience than we, but I still believe that we have enough experience, and these guys have been coached really well, and they've put in a lot of effort, and I think we'll be okay.
Now, you've got guys from all over the country that play in the Israel Football Leagues, teams from up in Haifa all the way down to Beersheba. Yeah. How do you think that their spirit is heading into this game? And how is yours when you put on that Israel shirt, or for them the Israel uniform, and represent our country over there at this time?
So I've said this to them before. I think it's the really only chance you have as an Israeli to kind of represent, we'll have as Israelis, represent our country without a weapon. Actually do it with a special thing called a football and show the world or the Europeans that we can do this well, and we're not as aggressors as everyone else thinks we are.
You actually played organized football in the United States. You came to Israel pretty recently. What kind of team have we put together?
We put together a really aggressive team. I didn't think that we could come together the way that we did, because we have guys from Beersheba, we have guys from Haifa. But the fact that we got them together and we actually created a nice, really strong family environment, it's really made me kind of second guess what you can do with an all-star team. We have a good rhythm on the field. It's not exactly what you would see in the U.S., but what we have is a strong group of guys.
What about the spirit, the spirit to win, the aggression that you need when you go out and you play football?
Absolutely. I mean, I tell this to my guys all the time. The very basic fundamentals of football, it's a fist fight. And when you go out there knowing that you're going to punch someone in the face, and you're going to probably get punched in the face too. And just having that mentality going into it, there's no surprises when it happens. As coaches, we're going to give them the tools. We're going to put them in the right position to succeed. It's them deep down inside. It's that feeling of overcoming your opponent. That's what's going to separate them. We've seen them do it up to this point, but the real challenge is when we actually go to Madrid and face a whole different team of guys who are experienced, strong, and smart players. This is a great test for us.
Now, anyone who's been to a game in Israel knows the name Danny Eastman. Instead of being an offensive player, where he's been a tremendous standout in the IFL, and three-time MVP in the entire league, he's playing on your defense. And at practices, it seems like even as a defensive player, he's the high scorer. Danny Eastman going to play a big role?
Donnie's going to play a huge role for us. He's going to be amongst one of the key players who's going to determine the outcome of the game.
People that have come out to games here at Kraft Stadium have seen you out there leading the Rebels with sometimes blowing the shofar, getting really psyched about the Jewish angle of football. What's that all about?
Well, there's a great thing, you know, they say in Elul, the Chodesh Elul, the king is in the field. And we here know that the reason the king's in the field is because it's football season. I think that there's a great deal that we can, as a team that represents Israel, come out here and show the Israeli warrior spirit, which has been dormant for a long time. And now we're back, and we have our own state. And the Judean warrior and now the Israelite warrior, which we saw in the Bible, and Yoav and Avner is here. Yakumu na narim v'yasachakulu fanenu the time has come, and it's time to blow the shofar, wake up and arise, and show what Israel's all about.
So you're going to head off to Spain with a Sefer Torah, with a shofar, and all of the other ingredients to show that the Jews have arrived?
You got it. We're going to be in the hotel in Madrid for Shabbat. We're going to have kosher food. We're going to have a minyan with a Sefer Torah. We're going to blow the shofar Sunday morning. And we're coming full force. This is no holds barred.
Payback for the Inquisition?
Oh, a lot deeper than that. A lot deeper than that. You know, we got a whole Edah called Sfaradim, and it's time that we put an end to that and say we're Israelites, and this is where we belong.
All right. Thank you. Awesome.